What is up, beautiful people? It's Wolfbrother Mythos, and this is Wolfbrother Hobbies. Welcome to tonight's live chat. I've got two guests on my right here. We've got
Gandalf the Magnificent and Rob from the Miniatures Paintbrush. What's up?
and magnificent he is indeed. Hello, Gandalf. Darklight Dreamer, great to see you, my brother.
Hello, Darklight.
How is the best brother in the world? And we've got Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor. Good to see you guys. I hope you're doing well. So it has been an interesting week. Did some hobbying, did some playing.
Yeah, I saw that tank.
Thank you. I did my best to, get it, I guess 3-color presentable to not lose any points on the tabletop.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and enough for tabletop. That's what I always say.
I've got it tacked onto its flight stand, and I just want to show how good this Loctite blue tack that Rob sent me is. Like, it is on the flight stand pretty sturdy. It's one of those, you can kind of see maybe. It's one of those puck-shaped flight stands, so it's nice and sturdy as a flight stand. But it comes in 2 halves sandwiched together. But I didn't glue it because I want to be able to go underneath and, paint the. I glued the texture down, but I want to be able to, paint it the rocky colors and put my my snow flocking and my bushes down there. And so instead of gluing it, I just used some of that Loctite tack. Yeah, it lasted all game. The tank never came wobbly or loose. This is where I got to the tank last week. I was hanging out after the show with Brother Hellchild for a couple hours.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, good
nice
enough.
Panel modulation.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Good enough not to lose some points on the tabletop.
Oh, yeah.
And because the Narrative League does, you tell me how the best brother in the world is, Darklight. You would know. Not to be dramatic, but I would die for Gandalf. Fair.
He shall not pass, though.
Did I hear flocking? In this case, snow flocking. So I took one of my older paint scheme tanks. And this is one of the. I know the Sikaran comes in plastic now, but this is from Horus Heresy 1. This is a heavy chunk of resin.
You can defend yourself with it.
Yeah. You can definitely kill a man with this. It's crazy. I should have said the K word less than 5 minutes into the stream. We'll see if I can take it down.
Here is something you can't understand. How's Sikaran just a man?
But it did well for me. The las cannons, the heavy bolters all did well. And of course, the Heracles autocannon. Autocannons, because they're only AP1, don't always do the best job. But the fact that it's damage 3 means every time a shot did go through, man, it really did some damage.
Mm-hmm.
I only, because my mind was really focused on the game this week, I only took 2 pictures. Let's see if I can forward those real quick. But before I get into my game, brother, why don't you tell me about your hobby week?
Well, I don't know if I can share these with you. I will share these with you. I'll show you what I did. Forgot to do that earlier. Sorry. Let me see. I had played a game with my wife of AOS, and it was the first time that I played Skaven, and it was against her Flesh Eater Courts, and it was pretty good. Skaven put some gnaw holes up there and traveled around the board, and she did Oops All Monsters, which was, pretty strong, but it's a horde army, so I can be in multiple places around the board. But I guess I can share it via here. Okay, I'm going to send you some pictures. Alrighty. Okay. Boom, 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 boom.
Darklight Dreamers Hobby Week. I've been playing so much Crimson Desert. That's awesome. It's a pretty new video game out. It's an open world adventure kind of game. And Darklight has been putting in some work on that game.
I threw it in Messenger for you.
All right. And I'm going to forward it to the other chat, honestly, just so that way it's all in one spot.
Okay, now I know.
It's fine.
Better. Nice. So I got a game in. Painting wise, I really hadn't doing too much painting wise. I'm reorganizing my gaming room, and I'm preparing because I'm the DM for my D&D session, which is on Sunday. So that's
Very
I'm
nice.
looking forward to that.
I too will be playing some D&D on Sunday.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, we have a good 6-hour session. Okay, let's see. There is my wife contemplating her Oops All Monsters. She has a zombie dragon and a terrorgeist with a king on it. And then she has behind the charnel throne, she has not an Arc of Fame, the Archregent. And she had 6 of the, gosh, I forgot what they were called. The winged vampires. And she has another king on foot. So she had 2 kings. She had a lot of spellcasters. She had 2 spellcasters, and then the Archregent can cast 2 spells and unbind 2 spells. So we're talking about 4 spells per turn. She was heavy on the spells. She was mobile with the with those mini terrorgeists, because they do have the scream that the terrorgeist does. They're mini terrorgeists. And there goes my Skaven. The board was interesting. We played a mission. Forgot the name of the mission now, but we used the objective markers. There is my Skaven in play. I just put the plague rats on one side, and I put the attacking rats on the other side. And what I did was this is only half the army, because the rest of it is in reserve. I had twice as many rats on each side.
Oh, wow.
So I had, yeah. I had 80 rats total. So it was definitely a horde army. And I only had 1 spellcaster, which was on the Screaming Bell. So I only had 1 spell per turn. So she was heavily spelled. I was heavily armed. But I was able to flood the board with some board control. As you can see, all the way in the back by the D6 and that big D20, you have another legion of clan rats coming in from the side. And one of my objectives was that I needed to be in the enemy territory, less than 3 inches away from his battleford edge. So that's why I put him there. And I didn't tell her.
There's just so many rats. And they're just everywhere.
The first thing I did was clear out her flying little beasts, simply because those things can go around the board and grab objectives quickly. So I wanted to shut down her mobility. Although the zombie dragon and the terrorgeist can move pretty quickly, but yeah, it was pretty good stuff.
There's that handsome guy.
There I am, ready to play the game. Now, we don't actually have the GW no-holes, so we just use the craters from the set, which are OOP, and if you try to get them, they're super expensive for reasons. I don't know.
It's funny. I just watched Mediocre Hobbies paint up a very similar It's like a wrecked area with craters, but it's also a wrecked rhino, and it was a limited release piece of terrain.
I saw that color scheme on it was Thousand Suns Battle Report and a White Dwarf, and I recreated the scene by putting those steaming kind of celestial holes with some pinkish, purplish kind of like accents on the side.
I love some energy effects, and if there's
Yeah,
anything I like more than energy effects, it's celestial holes.
You gotta love them celestial holes, man. There goes my guy sneaking in some objective points on some of my objectives there. Pretty cool. Sneaking up on back, sneaky. I already terminated the other ones. I was going for her zombie dragon right there. And I didn't care if I lost because the clan rats, they bring back 1d3 per turn. So I had enough of a tar pit for her. And enough hits too, even though the hits were hitting on 5s, which is not great, and sometimes 6s. But there it is. I went after her arch regents with my 3 rat ogres, and they pretty much demolished the arch regent. And towards this point, I got rid of both of her dragon, a dragon and her terrorgeist, and it was just the arch regent, and she summoned the horse's spell. And they had the king. I killed the king and killed the archregent. And she was like, this is over. And I'm like, yeah. Now, I kind of felt bad because this was turn 2.
Oh,
I know.
That's kind of the gamble when you go big models, because it's such a low model count that either they're going to get in and do a lot of damage, or when you lose even one on such a small model count game, it's like really crippling.
I mean, she killed 40 models. She did awesome. The damage that she was going to do. However, I had 40 more for her, and she couldn't handle that, especially with the clan rats. She let those live. Plus, she had some bad rolls when trying to get them. What happened?
Archregent. He said, "Go." I went after her archregent. Sounds sus.
Hey, I mean, announcement. She's pregnant, so I did go over. I did go after the arch region.
And that brings us back to the beginning.
Yeah, back to the beginning.
Speaking of back to the beginning, can you tell us what the bottom of the shirt says? Every baddie.
Even baddies get saddies.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looked like it was a fun game, though.
It was a fun game. She wants a rematch.
Even losing, being able to just wipe out 40 models sounds like a good time.
Yeah, she did. And there's my reinforcements of plague rats that every time you kill them, they have a potential on a 6 to do damage to the person that killed them.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so I just swamp them. They're like little landmines.
All right. Before I talk about my game, I'm going to just go through the chat real quick.
Okay.
And so back to our faces. All right, in the chat, Friendly Neighborhood Inquisitor says, Crimson Desert. That's the game Darklight's playing. He says, the cat adoption simulator. Darklight says, Crimson Desert is basically part Red Dead 2, part Assassin's Creed, part Breath of the Wild, part Elden Ring, part Stardew Valley. And Crimson Desert is basically every video game.
Stardew Valley too. Wow.
Wybird says, my hobby has been working on a troll and some other projects for a fancy comp in July.
Are you
Very
attacking
nice.
Somebody who had a negative comment towards you? Working on a troll? I'm working on him here.
Now, Wybird, I know you've been hobbying a long time and you know what you're about. But also, since we have a display quality painter here and someone who has been a finalist at not Golden Demon, Slayer Sword, right?
No, Capital Palette.
Capital Palette.
Yeah.
Finalist at Capital Palette. So if you would like him to maybe take a look at your entry piece and maybe give some feedback, I'm sure that is something as a both teacher and painting aficionado that he is very skilled at.
I'm willing, not to pressure, but I'm here for you if you need it.
Yeah. Our effing Inquisitor says, I haven't done shit for Hobby. Been playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth for the first time, so Hobby has taken a backseat. I feel that, but sometimes a good game just takes over.
How is Red X anyway? I heard they did not do him justice.
Let me ask.
He's more Chester Cheetah than he is Red X. That's what I hear.
Is he? Oh, I hope that's not the case. Sonic Wave says, my Hobby Week's been getting my High Elves table ready for the local league, hoping that kicks off pretty soon, and I'm excited to play Blood Bowl again.
Nice. 380.
That's awesome. I think I think even though I never personally got into Blood Bowl, I had a demo game of it once or twice, and it was pretty fun. Just I know I saw the troll on Discord. I didn't. Wow, I'm so ADD. I'll go back to the original thought. I enjoyed the couple of test games of Blood Bowl I played. It didn't catch my attention enough to actually invest and learn the game myself, though.
I have second edition still in the plastic.
NIB, baby. And then you saw the troll on jokes. I know I saw the troll. I was just asking with Brother Rob here, being a competitive and display quality painter too. You might want to take a look at it and see.
I'm just your average guy painting for many, many years. That's all. But if you want advice, I'm here for you.
So firstly, talking about my game. Firstly, I showed I had kit bashed and primed a pistol last week. It is now painted up with the glow effects as my Hellfrost pistol. I had a Crucible champion on Thunderwolf because this Maelstrom league is a Crucible of Champions focused, and so your Warlord has to be a Crucible of Champions. And so
where did you get that wolf? It's huge.
This is one of Lehman Russ's wolves from 30K.
Ooh, yeah, freaky, right?
Either Freaky or Geldy.
Ah, come on.
I'm not sure.
Freaky.
So this was like all kinds of kit bash. So this was the Wolf Priest head came from Ulrich the Slayer.
Yep.
The body itself came from and the saddle here. Actually, I carved out of a Primaris Outrider biker.
Nice.
And so when I carved the seat out to make my saddle, obviously there was no back to it because the back was the sprue for the bike, right? And so it was kind of empty. And so I kind of, just green stuffed a backing to the saddle here. And then
have the chains around the hoofs.
I wanted the wolves to look a little more metal, so
yeah,
I wrapped some chains around, made it look a little less plain too. And then I also used the chains to show that there was something holding the saddle onto the wolf.
Right, I see it around the belly. Nice.
Brother Zai, a Dark Angel / Fallen player, gave me this cool bit many years ago.
Nice.
Deathwing Knights, and I decided it would be perfect Thunderhammer to go for a Wolf Priest.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I used a Reaver pistol, a 40K flamer from the Grey Hunter set, the older Grey Hunter set when you could take a flamer, and one other bit to make my little Hellfrost pistol, though.
Nice.
And then, of course, the back here is from, I think it's a...
Is it a flag?
Yeah, the little banner is from, I think,
Yeah, yeah.
This way also be Ulrich. I forget where I got that.
Maybe. I do have the old banner guy. I should paint them up for.
Oh yeah, back in the Frost and Fist days, Shroud and I uploaded our Blood Bowl game to the channel. True, that is in the early days of the channel. If anybody wants to check that out,
Nice.
that's still there. Had your bits Deathwing Night Flail in your bits box for a decade. I still have those Deathwing shields you gave me too.
Nice.
So there was that, and like I said, I took the Sakaran, and I already showed you guys the tank that I got up to tabletop level just for being able to play a game without losing points. Although with the Maelstrom type, painting points didn't matter actually. So, but I'd never played a Maelstrom game before, so that was cool.
Yeah, you did it for yourself, and it looks great.
It's true. It's true. And I'm like I said, it's got a long way to go, but I'm pleased with where it is for the moment. And honestly, like getting it, maybe 30% completed is like also like, spurring the mojo to do more and get more stuff.
Yeah. Once I finish cleaning up that game room, then I'm spring cleaning. That's what it is. So,
nice.
Yeah.
The game type was really interesting. Oh,
yeah, thanks. iPod.
Oh, that's so cute. Okay. For hobby progress, Darklight has submitted a picture of his Crimson Desert character and his adopted son. The cat is dressed up as a musketeer. That is so
there it is. There it is. That's cute.
That's super cute. Oh, wrong direction. Although this was totally me in Resident Evil 3. I saved all my Magnum ammo for the quote-unquote final boss.
Yeah.
Never got to use the Magnum because in the final boss fight in 3, you use this giant laser cannon that you find in the environment. And so I'd been saving up all the Magnum, and I was like, oh, I never used it. And now the game's over. All right, other direction. Okay, there's our little musketeer cat.
Nice.
That is so cute. And also the way he's got his eyes, the hat pulled down over his eyes, that looks like a pimp cat, let me tell you. We need to get this pimp cat a walking cane.
Mm-hmm. Give me some paw.
Hell yeah. All right, and I only took 2 pictures because I was just so enthused in the game. Oh yeah, back to articles and art, and there we go. All right, so this first picture, you can see. So I had started out all the way to the left of the screen because I was the attacker. And then here, kind of in the middle of the board, was the defender's spot. And there were objectives all over the table. And in this game type, it's really cool. You basically move to the objective, and at the end of your movement, you can pick up the objective. And
I like those.
And your squad is carrying it. Yeah. And the goal is to make it to any table edge. And also at the end of the turn, you can move off the board and score the objective.
Nice.
And so the reason why it's the end of your movement, so you can't just pick it up and say, I'm gone,
Right.
So it's like, it's got to be 2 separate turns. And if you are at the edge of the game board and you pick up the objective, you can't just that way you can't leave in the same turn. You got to wait till the end of your opponent's turn. Sent you the troll, so you don't need to scroll back. Okay, will do, my brother. So this was, like I said, a really fun game. I started out all the way on the left, and what happened here is that there was an objective between this building and this building. And this whole middle building here was occupied with a full squad of Necron Flayed Ones
Oh wow.
and his custom Crucible champion as his warlord leading the Flayed Ones.
Mm.
And I was expecting, because I've played against him in the past, and usually he does a really good job of going for like an early alpha strike with his Flayed Ones, because they are a very lethal, melee unit. But instead, this time, he stealthed out of the route. Like, he Flayed Ones, for those who don't know, can start, basically as a what's it called? They have a, not a scout move, the other one, infiltrate. So they can start, pretty much anywhere on the board. And so they started out in this building. They stealthed out, grabbed the objective, and afterward, my wolves, they grabbed the objective, and my wolves came and charged. And I was playing Saga of the Great Wolf, that has strategy, which let move through walls and opponents' models and stuff like that. And so basically, my Thunderwolf Cavalry crashed through the walls like the Kool-Aid Man.
Oh yeah.
I got really hot with the dice rolls and managed to wipe out the squad and the warlord all on that charge. And that's where you see now the objective is kind of on the ground. That's where they dropped it, and I basically had these Hellblasters move in the next turn and picked up the objective. So
nice.
Now, I took the objective over here in my territory with some intercessors. Hellblasters came and got this objective. You can see his side of the table is empty. He had already picked up 2 on his side of the table and made off with it. So by the end of the game, this one in the corner was the only one left that was able to be picked up. So it was 2-2.
Yeah.
End of the game. This literally came down to the last dice roll. Vehicles cannot pick up the objectives. And so I had managed to wipe out all of the models except one destroyer. My 2 tanks, the Sakaran, which is I think underneath the paper spec here,
stealth,
and the Rep X, man, they did so much damage. And of course, my warlord got to slay the other warlord, so that was pretty fun. Not to say that the Necrons didn't do any damage back, man. Those destroyers and heavy destroyers deal some really blistering firepower. But I managed to wipe it down, except for this one, the one black destroyer down here. It was the lead of the destroyers. Everything else was gone. And so basically he went back behind the terrain, zoomed to the back of the table, and his plan was to escape. I couldn't get my line of sight of him in the ruins. And so my 2 tanks were out of position. I was trying to move in position, but couldn't get there in time. My Hellblasters and my Intercessors had already left the table. And so these guys had moved to the center of the board. It was a 9-inch charge to be able to catch the lone.
No. Tell me you made that charge.
I did not. It literally came down to and I love exciting games that are that close. Literally the very last dice roll. Nice. I needed a 9-inch charge. I rolled a 7. And I didn't have any CP left because I had to spend to go through the walls again to try and catch him, because he was right behind this wall here. And so I spent my last CP to go through the walls, and I missed it by 2 inches. But it was okay. Like I said, I just want to do cool stuff. And so the fact that I was able to take down some enemies, and it came down to the last dice roll, it was all very cool. And
it sounds like an awesome game.
The way I wrote it out, since he was over here, his squad had been wiped, and he was watching the other units start to get wiped. He saw the one last objective. He zooms by. Tanks are trying to line up shots. He's flying through explosions, and then just before the Thunderwolves get to him, he looks the champion directly in the eyes and teleports away with the objective.
Mm.
It was very, very. It was cinematic, really.
Did you call it the Easter egg hunt?
Yes.
Okay, you got the last egg.
This was. He is right behind this piece of terrain here, and I just wanted to show how close that charge was. Like, if I had just made the 9-inch charge, it would have crashed through the walls and claimed the objective.
Oh man, that would have been sweet.
What do you mean vehicles can't pick up the objective? Why can't my tank pick up the artifact? Oh, we have Lady Dragon in the chat.
Hey there.
2 beautiful bald men. Why, hello there. Good to see you again, Lady Dragon.
How's it going?
If I get back into 40K, I feel like I need to buy a new airbrush and carve out a real hobby space on my desk. As someone who used to have to break down my airbrushing area and put it back up all the time, it really made so much difference in my progress I was able to make learning the airbrush once I actually set up and had a dedicated space for my airbrush.
Yeah, makes a world of difference.
Darklight, us showing the musketeer cat says, "That's my little boy." And a cutie he is, sir. A cutie he is. But it was a good game. It was so fun. Oh man! And a really interesting thing is that you get in this narrative Maelstrom game. It's more than just the battle you're playing. It's like cumulative effect of what you do throughout the league, right? And so you in this the Maelstrom pack, you earn something called notoriety points, and basically winning the match only gives you 1 point.
Okay.
But certain things you can do, like if your warlord gets a kill, or your warlord unit gets a kill, that's 3 points.
Oh.
If you take out the warlord, your enemy's warlord, that's another 3 points.
Nice.
And then, like, it's another 3 if at the end of the game your warlord is in your enemy's deployment. And I can't remember the other thing I scored. And then, of course, if you have a custom kit bashed champion for the Crucible of Champions, you get a point for that. And then, just to add on some extra flavor, the person running the league said also if you kit bash an objective as a narrative piece of objective, then you'll get an extra point for that as well. So it's pretty cool.
Very cool.
Grumpy Guy Gaming. Hello, all. Just dropping by to say hi. I'm working. Man, don't work too hard, my friend, but thanks so much for dropping by. I was just nerding out about my recent 40K game, playing the new Maelstrom rules, and I definitely recommend anyone. Like, I don't normally pick up end of the edition campaigns because it's got such a limited shelf life by the time you pick it up. However, I have to say this mission style, if you tend to play things like, narrative type games, the Maelstrom is a lot of fun. And the Crucible Champions, being able to customize your own character is really nice too. Like my warlord, I gave my Thunderwolves all +1 to wound in combat, which is really neat. And then, being able to put that on a full squad of Thunderwolves is just like takes that strength 5, 2 damage, 3 damage on the charge. It's no longer just about strength 5. Once you're getting +1 to wound, you're able to swing above your absolutely. Roxas, yo, what is up, my brother? I hope you're doing well, man. Lady Dragon Creations, I hope you have been doing well. I hope you have been busy creating some more goodies for your shop. If anyone wants to reach out to Lady Dragon on the Wolfbrother Hobbies Discord, She is the one who came up with that really cool Lehman Russ inspired shirt that I was wearing on a few of my streams. So if you reach out to her on Discord, she may have something that you might like.
Yeah, I picked up one of her towel shirts. Amazing.
So
I would love to get together with her and just have like a painting session, like paint out. That'd be fun.
That would be really cool. I still have as one of my favorite orc bosses is a lady orc that she painted up for me.
Yeah.
And did some really nice layering and blending.
She did a great job on the giant that she gave me. I still have it in my cabinet. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, your stream got me to detach from the PS5, so I'm working on my Claw Terminators. That's awesome.
Nice.
I honestly, I've always loved claws, especially since when I started the game. Space Wolves had a special version of lightning claws called Wolf Claws, and I have not been enthused with how the claws are in comparison to other power weapons in the last couple editions.
A glorified power fist is what they are. A glorified power fist is all they are.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I feel like they are. I feel like there's really no reason to take them power claws when other power weapons are an option. They look so cool.
That's it. That's why you take them. It's all about narrative. It's all about the look.
Yeah, for sure. So, anyways, I hope
competitive advantage.
I hope lightning claws get a little bit better with the 11th edition. Garrett, my man, I hope you're doing well. Man, I feel like I haven't seen you in a hot minute. Probably since the wedding. All right. We have a couple of things to look at tonight, and we are going to start. We got our hobby updates, old editions. They weren't back in the day. Power fists were unwieldy and fought at Initiative 1. Oh, no, I was just saying back in the day,
lightning claws
and wolf claws were better. But like aesthetically, when you look at a
Wolverine,
when you look at the power claws, they are a large, oversized fist, similar in aesthetics to a power fist, is what we were saying. But like rules wise, they just used to be better back in the day, where like you could conceivably choose a power claw over a power sword or power axe. They had different advantages to each of them.
I think they should have a better AP. I think that would balance it out than a power fist. I think that would balance it out.
Possibly.
Yeah.
But yeah, like these days they're just a less good power weapon, So that's all I was saying, is that I wish power claws could go back to having more of a reason to take them, like in the older editions.
How would you balance a power claw? What would you do to balance it?
Well, in the older editions, I think what I liked is that if you had one power claw, you'd get a bonus attack because they were fast weapons. And if you had two power claws, you'd get two bonus attacks.
Okay.
And
you want to go back to that?
Yeah. Or I don't know. If it gave you, you wouldn't even if they didn't give them a +1 attack all the time, like having paired lightning claws or whatnot gave you sustained 1 or sustained 2. That would be really cool. It's like you don't get the extra attack all the time, but right. You would get a chance to get extra attack from your lightning claws. That would be really neat. Imagine
if you have a friend and you just play and say, "Hey, I'd like to try something."
Oh yeah, that would.
And you could just do it. Right? You're not at the mercy of GW's rules.
That's true.
It's like D&D. Sometimes you homebrew. Sometimes you homebrew.
If you had a double claw character, What if you
I
got
do.
sustain 2?
I do.
That would be really cool.
I do. I have a Terminator with two of the claws.
Very nice. Very nice. Very Wolverine-y. That's
Yes.
why my Contemptor murder thing, I have him leaping forward like this. Because it kind of reminds me of the Fox Wolverine from Fox X-Men.
Yes.
Where Wolverine
yes.
used to lunge forward with a double fist pose.
I have that comic book.
Yes.
Yep. Hello there, Running Bear. We are doing well.
Inquisitor agrees. Give twin lightning claws, twin linked, and sustained hits too. That would be cool.
Yeah. And there's really nothing stopping you from doing that with friends, you know?
True. That would be at least fun to play. I might have to hit up, like, the only person I'm playing outside of the shop these days is Atlas. So I might have to try it out with him sometime.
Yeah, man.
Wybird says Blood Angel's Furioso claws were evil. Yeah, they were very strong.
Oh, yeah.
And then the fastball special. That would be cool to be able to take a dreadnought, throw a double claw guy, do a fastball special. Random thought: if you use the Warhammer 40k models and characters along with the Fabula Ultima system, flavored as 40k abilities, what would you want to do for the story? Oh,
I am not familiar with the Fabula Ultima system.
So Fabula Ultima is one of those. It's like a Final Fantasy inspired RPG system.
Okay.
But it's very loose in its abilities and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
To where like everything can be interpreted as that way. You can flavor your rules that you do as kind of anything. For instance, they have
that's fun.
A move that deals damage in the sky, and if the creature is flying, has a chance to bring the creature down, right?
Nice.
And you can use it if you're playing an archer character, like you're firing an arrow to take that thing down. Mm-hmm. Or you can flavor it as a lancer, because it is a Final Fantasy game. And lancers and dragoons used to have an ability called jump, which lets you go up in the sky and come down, and you could hit airborne things where your other melee characters couldn't hit them.
Go,
and
Sid,
would also
go, Sid, go.
Yeah. And also, would have a chance to bring down flying creatures. So, like, it's very easy to flavor whatever you want to do. It's a very open system.
That's pretty cool.
Honestly, even though like it would probably be considered like unrealistic, I think a fantasy style thing like that would be really cool if you flavored it all different flavors of Space Marine and put together like a Death Watch. That would be really cool. Yeah. Death Watch, for those who don't know, are basically the special ops of Space Marines, where every X amount of years, all of the chapters have to give tribute to this Inquisition-owned chapter of Space Marines called the Death Watch, that specifically are given the task of sharing their knowledge amongst the different Space Marine chapters. They get like some of the best gear, and their mission is to hunt down alien Xenos.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And they should be the ultimate soup army, really.
Yeah. So that would be really cool, because then you could have somebody with fire abilities that could be a salamander character, you know, and all of your abilities could just be tech gadgets, you know.
Right.
And so even though you have fire abilities, it's because you have a really high-tech pyroblaster, you know. And then, like, you know, somebody with the Lancer abilities, like instead of Dragoon jumps, it could be a Raven Guard or a Blood Angel with a jump pack, you know.
Nice.
So they're also giant hypocrites and use Xenos weaponry. That's true.
Of course they do.
That's true. The Inquisition in general tend to live by to slay the evil, you have to use the evil against the evil.
Right. Why should they have all the neat toys?
A rule I'd like to see added is Vorpal on a 6 to hit. No invulnerability or feel no pain saves allowed. Oh, that would be cool. Our friend Running Bear plays Deathwatch currently, and I think their Xenoblade weapons I think would have a Vorpal ability like that. That sounds like a cool game. I think it would be cool. Yeah. That I really appreciate that. That was pretty thought provoking, Darklight. I appreciate that.
Yeah.
By the Emperor. I haven't seen Atlas in years. Atlas is the main guy I play with now. Oh, I forgot to tell you, brother Sonic Wave. Freak is out of the game. Last I heard, he was selling his Imperial Fists. I think he was talking about doing some 30K with his friends who live in Arizona. So I don't know if he's keeping his 30K stuff, but I know he was selling off his fists. The Inquisition's rule is basically do as I say, not as I do. Exactly. They're those parents. I'm excited about the whole new edition. Time to build up some terrain based on the new dimensions. Oh, yeah, because there's going to be specifically terrain pieces. And we've got some of the rules we're going to look at today where, well, we've got about 40 minutes. We might look at them today. But where some of the new objectives are going to be terrain pieces. And the terrain pieces that are going to be objectives, they got to be, well, they're supposed to be specific sizes. Obviously, your game, your rules, I mean, there's probably no need to sweat the exact size of your terrain that you're doing for objectives, but I think it'll be neat to see. I'm excited to learn more about it, to be honest. I haven't really seen Atlas since the Swords days. Yeah, I was kind of, I haven't seen a lot of the crew since the Swords days, so, I get excited when I can see fellow Warhammer players in the area like yourself. I thought it was neat running into you the other day. All right, we're going to look at some stuff. We've got our channels of the week, and I'm going to start with, I usually start with Rob's. I'm going to be a little greedy today. I'm going to start with mine. We're going to go to a channel called DadHammer.
Ooh, go daddy.
And just in case anybody, is typing this into their YouTube search screen right now, make sure you look specifically for DadHammer, not Daddy Hammer. Don't put that in Google.
Yeah, you'll get a totally different site, I think.
Okay, so this guy...
Well, that beast of Nurgle over there got the right idea.
This guy has some serious painting chops. Oh, yeah, he doesn't even do full-length videos. It's all shorts, and shorts is where I found this guy. It's really cool because I'm not even sure it's his real kid. The kid voice in the video sounds too cute. I'm like, can this even be real? But he does voiceovers himself and his kid while he paints stuff on screen. It's really good. Look at the diamonds on this Harlequin Space Marine.
That's nice. Really nicely done.
So beautiful.
Yeah, it is.
Look at the tiny, tiny glyphs he's painting. It's a big shield, but look how tiny these glyphs are.
Oh, he definitely got some really great brush control.
Really great
rusted metal on that claw is amazing.
Yep.
I like the pink on the shark.
I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first clicked on this thumbnail here, I didn't realize this was an orc. Like, I saw Orc Marine, but I just thought, maybe he dressed an orc up as a Space Marine with the shoulder pads, the backpack. Because I didn't even notice this was a Space Marine helmet at first. I just, I saw the green, the shoulder pads.
I thought it was an orc, but it's a Marine. Yeah.
Look at the blends on this skin. This vibrant skin.
Yeah.
It's
Really good orc skin.
And the tattoos.
High Fleet Heresy. Oh, the tattoos are really nicely done.
If you watch this short, you can actually see him painstakingly paint on the tattoos line by line.
That's amazing. And then the glyphs on the knight. Yeah, I did a fleur de lis. I did.
Oh wow!
Like I did something like that on my Knight Titan entry, and but I did like glyphs for the Space Wolves on mine. But that looks insane, and I know how long that takes. I know how long that takes. Not too much fun. You got to get lost, do a quarter of it, and take one day, and then stop looking cross-eyed as you continue on. Yeah, also, it's tough.
I was really admiring the way this guy's able to paint lines and textures, striations.
That's really good.
Yeah, the texture game is on point. I mentioned to Sonic about, I haven't run into many of the old school 40K players in the area, and Darklight goes, there are Warhammer 40K players near you that are ready to mingle. Warhammer players in your area. All right, so DadHammer is the channel I wanted to bring up. The channel that Brother Rob submitted for this week. It's a channel we've revisited before, but we're going to look at a specific episode that caught Brother Rob's attention, and we're going to pause that and mute it so before we get copyright stricken. All right, so it says that hack that changed my speed painting forever. Now, the channel and the specific episode are both linked down in the description. But Brother Rob, tell us a little bit about this video and why you think the chat should go check out this episode.
Well, there's a couple of things here that are really, really interesting. And John actually tried to film this, saying that the plastics for these new independent companies like Trench Crusade and Relic Blade and even Crisis Protocol, that their plastic is catching up with GW quality plastic and detail. And that the detail on these miniatures is not so much to overwhelm the miniature. So you have, as an artist, the liberty to paint something on or do some transitions that look nice instead of just painting trim all day, every day. So that's the first thing that he wanted to do the video in. But as he was painting up one of the Relic Blade miniatures, this pig guy, he found out that there's an easy way to just speed paint. Now, slap chop speed paint and this speed paint, you may argue that this way is longer. However, if you dip your fingers in 3 colors and kind of like put it on a miniature, technically you have 3 colors on a model, right? And that's the quickest way to go. But, it doesn't look good. And I'm not a fan of slab chop per se. I think it serves its purpose and it looks okay.
I feel targeted talking about me putting down 3 colors before my game this weekend.
Right? Yeah, but you didn't finger paint it.
That's true.
You have nice pedal modulation, so not you at all. But one way to do it, instead of taking out an airbrush, is put like 6 colors down onto your palette and just use whatever's on your palette, like mix the colors together and get intermediate colors and everything else, and just slop it on there, and then just focus on the main color of the model. Like if the pig that he was doing, the most of the model was covered in skin, so skin had to be the most prolific one, and then his belts and everything else had to be a cool color since the skin was more of a warm color. But just putting that on and then slapping on some light color, like maybe a yellow with a white, so it's not like a little off-white, and just every little edge just to show a gleam. So this way you have your base coats, your triad, your base coat, your mid-tone, and your highlights, and then done. That's one way to do it. And he just uses the golden So Flat paints, which I am very, very tempted. They're already in my Amazon wish list to pick up and have a go at. They do a really good job with that, and I want to try those out. But Speed painting is painting as quickly as you can while you're having fun doing it. Because if it's no fun, then what's the why you're at the table, painting.
Sure.
Just feel the gray army and be done with it, right? So
That's why I used to do batch painting for commissions, and now, I mean, A, I don't do commissions anymore, but B, I don't do big batches anymore. Like, and the most I can do at a time is like 5.
Yeah. It just sucks the life out of you. It's no longer fun.
Yeah, and that's why I stopped doing the batch painting, is because I came to the same thought. Like, I'm supposed to be painting as my spare time, and it's not relaxing me if I feel like, oh, I've been doing this for 4 hours and I didn't make any progress.
Right. Yeah, it becomes a job. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, you should be having fun with this stuff. So that's why I always, even though I paint a large amount of minis, I always paint them, to a certain level, and then I just take them one by one and complete them. And that's the only way I could paint, because batch painting sucks out my soul. But John is a really great painter and a really cool dude. I've seen him. I have not been introduced by him. Next time I go to Nova, and you're probably going to go with me, I want to see if he's there. He's usually hanging with Vince, and Vince will just here's John Vince. It's like, hey, how's it going?
We got a couple of Johns in the chat, so I just want to clarify. John is in Ninjon, the YouTube.
John Minas, yeah. John Minas, yeah. Yeah, he almost has as much paint as I do.
Oh yeah,
almost. It's getting close. Getting close.
I looked at those as fancy streamer lights, and I didn't notice until you said that those were all paint racks.
Yeah. He's getting there. He's getting close. Not there yet, but he'll be there soon.
Oh man, I saw somebody's. I think I was on maybe either Morty and Glory's or Bash and Brush's Discord, and they were like, "Man, check out this guy's pile of shame video," and I was like, "They need to see Rob's video."
Yeah, mine's a pile of crying shame. Yeah, I try to challenge people. I said I'm just the biggest pile of shame on YouTube. I was like, come after me, Squidmar. I got more than you, buddy.
Yeah, I have definitely heard painters that I know in person, like, I'm sure it's probably may have been said. Obviously, we're talking about Ninjon saying it here in this video. Yeah. But like some painters that I've known, like in real life, talking about how one of the things that's really going to save you effort for batch painting is to work with a limited color palette, and you mentioning that there and mixing to get what you need, and just basically taking all from the same wet palette actually makes a lot of sense, because you're not stopping. And I mean, to be honest, because I get lazy and don't mess with my wet palette as often as I should, and so I spend a lot of time. Okay, a little drop from this bottle. Okay, now a little bit of the the flow improver to mix it to the consistency I want. Okay, now I'm going to paint this color. Now I need the next color. Okay, I'm going to go to the dropper bottle. Okay, I'm going to put a little flow improver in, just back and forth. And
I'm too lazy for that. And if you use the same colors, the piece looks like, it pulls together. Like there's a theme because you're using the same colors. Even if they're blended, like it becomes homologous. Modulus? I don't know. It's unified.
Ashley, you're never late, my friend. You arrive always in time to be y'all's lovely selves. Good evening to you and Brother Greg.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, I've been on the lo-fi this whole time. I never switched over to my grim dark. Well, that's okay. We can go 1 week without being all grim dark. All right, so those are our channels of the week. They're listed down in the chat or in the description below. Feel free to check those out. Definitely some content worth watching. Obviously, I've talked a few times about Ninjon. He's always got really great painting tips and some thought-provoking stuff. Oh, yeah. And I find, the work that DadHammer does, it's exquisite work. And I mean, he does some painting projects that not everybody would think of, right? Like an orc-styled Space Marine,
That
a
was cool. Yeah.
Tyranid-style Space Marine.
Yeah, he's really good.
Harlequin.
I love that Harlequin. Yeah.
What really struck crazy, I watched the Harlequin one just last night, and the Harlequin one, not only does he do the diamond pattern, not only does he separate all the diamond patterns with a little black line between the colors, but he actually
Highlights
goes through and edge highlights each diamond. And I'm like,
yep, that's the way you got to do it. It's the way you got to do it. You got to edge highlight every single diamond.
It is definitely like,
yeah,
high attention to detail. I was going to say painstaking, but if you enjoy that kind of, like, you enjoy edge highlighting, and I would think of that as painstaking. So well, like it's just high attention to detail is what it is.
The only reason I like edge highlighting is because I made a lot of mistakes for a very long time, and then I finally started getting it. It started to click. You know that moment when you're painting and just things are like, oh yeah, I just do it like this, and it just clicks, and it's like, yeah, that was easy. And then like a couple of years ago, that would have been the hardest thing you've ever done in your life.
Fair. That's fair.
But now it's easy because you do it. And then I look back and I'm like, oh man, this was so challenged for me, and I overcame that challenge. That feels just good doing it because I can overcome the challenge.
Sonic says, wet palette and army painter speed paints have gotten me more comfortable using brighter colors on my models and tackling more organic models like the war beasts in my War Machine army. I've definitely heard, like, there was a lot of complaint when obviously contrasts were like the earliest widespread use of its kind. And I'm not going to completely say GW is like owns the idea here. But like it was the first widespread use of this technique, right? Obviously, there were iterations before, like painting using only washes and stuff like that.
Absolutely.
But a lot of people hated on it at first, but like over time, as contrast paints and their likenesses, for instance, the Army Painter Speed paints, AK has a version. Green Stuff World has a version. I think they're called One Step paints or something like that.
Yeah. I've seen the Green Stuff ones too.
Yeah. But they all have similar products, but the use of those has actually helped a lot of people. I've heard over the last few years, like, man, I was the person who hated painting, and I felt like these products made this more accessible for me, and I'm more comfortable painting now than I used to be. So I mean, like I said, always say, it's just another tool, and sometimes, certain tools fit certain people better.
Oh yeah, I played against contrasted painted armies, and I said they look cool. And they're like, really? And I'm like, yeah, they look cool, but they don't look as cool. Not you shut that down right now. They look cool, and I'm happy to play against you, and it's a cool immersive environment.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not. I don't go to the table and say, I don't like your paint job. I'm not that guy.
It's funny. I had a very similar conversation this weekend at the game shop where somebody I hadn't seen in a hot minute, a year or so, he told me he was playing Votan and we should meet up at the shop sometimes.
Nice.
His screen name, he goes by as Gallo. And I saw him up at the shop, and last I saw him, he was painting Skaven, and he has a new Votan army, and I was like, man, you've come a long way. Your Votan army looks really, really good. And he was like, oh, I've been working on it. I'm doing what I can to improve and this, that, and the other. And I pull out my Space Wolves army and put it up on the table, waiting for my opponent to come in. He goes, oh, mine. And he picks up one of his models. He goes, man, my painting looks like nothing compared to yours. I said, oh, no, it's nothing like that. My models look cool. Your models look cool.
Yeah.
We're all on our own painting journeys. And the fact that you've put some color on your models and brought out that cool Votan figurine, that's what it is, man. It all looks good.
That's right. That's right.
Monument's going to be releasing its own version as of contrast paint now, too. Well, as a Monument Hobbies fanboy, I'm definitely going to have to try that out.
Well, Sonic, you say never compare yourself to another player's painting skill. Only to their ability to play the game when they wipe you off second turn.
Oh man. So there's one thing I struggle with this. I have a lot of inferiority complexes and imposter syndrome, and so I struggle with that kind of mentality a lot. That's why I'm really a big proponent of like trying to encourage other people that all of their stuff is valid, all of their stuff is like all hobbies good hobby, right? It's because and I don't just mean in the painting world, just in life I have, like anxiety and inferiority complexes and stuff like that. And so anyway, so I never like to hear people put their own work down, um and so there's a quote that I really, because I struggle with this, I want to get tattooed onto my forearm to like constantly be a reminder myself, of course, is that comparison is the theft of joy, or the thief of joy. Oh yeah, yeah, exactly.
The thief of joy.
It's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then also there's a version of that I've heard, that is an Eastern saying, is that you should only look into your neighbor's bowl to ensure that they have enough.
Into your neighbor's hole?
Bowl. Your eating bowl?
Oh.
So so in this case, like, oh, you can appreciate, like, I always like to express other people, appreciation for other people's work, but also like, hey, if there's one tip, I think that might make this pop out even more, I'll throw a tip in if I can, because, the rising tide raises all boats,
Yeah, I like it when people are trying.
Speaking of giving tips and rising tide raising all boats. Oh man, I don't know if Wybird is still here. I was supposed to show you his work like half an hour ago.
Oh.
I'm so sorry, Wybird.
Are we going to do this online? I don't know. We doing it live? I don't know if he wants to see that. I don't know if he wants me to judge it right online. If you want me to give tips, you want me to break it down and give you feedback, I can.
I wish I could stay longer, but I have to get up 5 hours of work. Have a great night. Oh my goodness, get some rest, my friend.
Yeah, man.
I look at my high elves.
My neighbor doesn't appreciate me looking into their hole. I can see that. Actually, I don't want to see that, but sure. Yo there, folks.
Oi there. Oh,
Guys.
Man. That's my entire goal, looking decent on the table. Hell yeah. I look at my high elves. I see spots I missed where the white primer shows through, where I overpainted, didn't pull contrast off the flat surfaces, but they look good across the table, and that's my whole goal.
There it is.
Hey, and I think that is the key, is being able to be happy with your work. And, like some people always say, when is enough? It's like when you feel good about it, when it looks good to you.
Yeah. If you could be proud of it, then that's all that matters.
It's usually one step before I quit. I like to tell people I have a too much gene. I'll have to paint some figures 2 or 3 times because I'm like, it's looking good. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. Just a little bit. I fucked it up.
Yeah.
All right, time to strip it.
Well, when you're painting for competition, that little bit more, if you got about 400 hours in, yeah, you can still push it, but.
All right, we got 20 minutes left in the show, and I haven't put up one article yet.
Let's talk about these rules.
Contentedness is not complacency. True. That brings me to another quote, is that perfect is the enemy of progress.
That's right. Be happy, but never satisfied. You can always push yourself to the next level, but you can be happy with your work. I'm happy with mine, even though I look back, even at the blood claws, to the new Wolf. Why do I always forget their name? Wolf.
Which ones? The head takers?
No.
The Grey Hunters?
There. Why? I have a really big issue remembering the Grey Hunters. That's because my original army never had any Grey Hunters. So it's my Grey Hunters came out a lot better than my Blood Claws, I think. And that's just one model away. I'm not going to repaint the Blood Claws though. I think they look okay.
They look good for sure. They look really good. Gamesburger says, I like Citadel contrast paints and Army Painter speed paints.
I bought all of the Army Painter 2.0 speed paints. I got the mega ultra bigger set or whatever it's called.
I like both, but I wish I hadn't started with the Army Painter until Army Painter 2.0, because now I have a mix of some that rub off and some that don't.
Ooh.
And like when it rubs off, I will sometimes go back and look for that color and throw it out. But like, the just the fact that I have a mix of the new stuff, which is good, and the not so good stuff.
Before contrast, it was watered down inks over a Zenithal Prime.
Yep, inks, some washing. I think actually Lady Dragon painted the majority of my Orc Lady with washes. She painted something with washes.
Very nice.
And then I did find a mix of normal speed paints does have a cool effect. Oh, normal paints and speed paints have a cool effect. I did it with my Stargrave minis, and they came out looking great.
Speed paint through the airbrush is really good too.
Oh, for sure. Nice. I love using contrast Space Wolves Gray through the airbrush as a shading tool. It makes my dreadnoughts and vehicles like it really pushes the shadows on them.
And it's like a little subtle shadow, a little creep. It's really nice.
Inquisitor says, "Got to join us in the cult of good enough."
I'm the cult of happy but never satisfied. I always push myself. If I paint the perfect model, I'll never paint again. I'll never be able to get that good again.
I'm ending on high note, guys. I like to cycle between different projects. It helps with frustration when things are going well. I am the opposite. If I have something that's not going well, first, I'm going to get really mad and caught and probably tilted, so I'll paint worse. And there's going to be a lot of swearing. I'll probably phone a friend and do some ranting and say I can't do it. And I'll probably say I need to stop. I'll either say I'm done with this for now, or I'll try again tomorrow, or, I'm moving on to something else or something like that. And then I'll be mad, but then I'll stew quietly after the rant. And then I'll go back and do it because I hate, giving up. So even though I've told you I've given up, I'll go back. You try to remember the name of which wolf unit? It's Inquisitor says the Wolf's Wolf.
The Howling Wolfy Wolf. Wolferton Wolf.
I like to cycle between different. I already read that. I'll improve over time, but I'm not going to push myself in the moment.
Yeah. I mean, I always try to improve at least one skill, or at least try to improve one skill.
It's fair.
Yep.
I don't do that for each mini like you do, but like each project I do, I'm like, I want to focus on this.
Yeah, no, like if I have like the Grey Hunters, like I focused on faces for all of them, for all 30 of them. That was my thing for the Grey Hunters. So it was for a unit or whatever amount I have of that. I'm going to focus on one thing until I get it while I feel happy with it.
Oh, man. Darklight, as many of you know, is my IRL real life brother. It says, so he's known me my entire life. He says, Mythos, this is hard. I can't do it. Also Mythos. Oh, yeah, I'll show you. Oh, man. It's it's funny, but it's true. That's
yeah.
Oh, I am a worse version of that meme. Inside me are two wolves. One of them thinks I'm a punk and can't do it. The other one thinks I'm a badass and I'm going to do it. All right, so here we have the new Vanguard Veteran model revealed as a preview for 11th edition, coming in the Armageddon box set.
Nice.
Now, a lot of people are disappointed.
Why?
Because it looks a lot like the Jump Pack Intercessor Sergeant.
Oh yeah, I have him.
On the Jump Pack Intercessor Sergeant, you can take you a plasma pistol.
Mm-hmm.
you can take you a power sword.
You certainly can, yes.
Now, does that mean you're going to get a squad of guys who can be kitted out as the sergeant? But I think the reason why there's a lot of disappointment is if you look at the firstborn Vanguard veterans, there's a lot more ornamentation. There are a lot more, blinged out. There's a
that Aquila looks kind of flat. It's different.
Yeah, the Aquila's a little different. So that is a minor difference separated from the jump back intercessor. But like, if you go back and look like at the old school, like there is a bunch of hard detail on the shoulder pauldron that was like a big thick eagle, or Aquila, that really stood out, and it was like the gold Aquila was like a large part of the surface of the shoulder pad, and like there was a lot of the ornamentation across the chest, and usually there would probably not only be like a lot of stylized Aquila, but also probably like some fancy rope that would go across, and they do have the loincloth here, but it looks like a very plain cloth loincloth, a very unornamented holster. He does look a lot less like a storied hero and a little more like an intercessor sergeant.
Well, I think that a lot of the community, especially the painters, said that there's too much ornamentation on minis. So I think they are trying to listen to those painting communities by putting less ornamentation on the minis. So I can see that, because now there's little spots for freehand.
Fair. I gotta say, I feel like the freehand market is a very small portion of the Warhammer market, but luckily I have the old Van Vets kit. I'm going to be using it to customize mine, replacing some of the new jump packs with the old ones. But that's cool. I actually have a lot of the Death Company ones myself, bits that I could use. Gamesburg says, so Space Marine, Blood Angel should have more bling. Now, to be fair, this is from generic. The Armageddon box, which is going to be generic Space Marines, as all launch edition boxes are. It is just themed as Blood Angels. So this is merely a paint job of Blood Angels, but this is a Space Marine specific release. But yeah, just in general.
It has 2 purity seals, so they got that going for it.
That's true. Now, I'm on the fence because I like the sleek look of Primaris in general. I'm not a Griblies guy. I've never been one of the, like, if you take a look at the old Firstborn kits, I have so many just extra grenades, pouches, melted bombs, whatever. The flavor pieces everybody puts on their mini, I hardly ever use them because I like the sleek armor profile, right? Batman, RoboCop, that kind of stuff, there's
less to paint.
I mean, that's true, but that's not why I do it. I just like sleek profiles. And that's why I could never be like a Raptors, do a Raptors army, where it's like, I'm going to put all the Griblies on. But I can understand why, though, for people who are used to seeing very storied looking veterans, this veterans kit may seem a little, from just what we've seen, this is one Marine out of the box, but the one they've chosen to represent, I could see where a lot of people would feel that is much more plain than they were expecting.
Yeah, is that a captain?
No, it's a Vanguard veteran.
Okay.
So currently in the rules, you can take a unit of these guys, and they don't have power weapons, even though they look like power weapons. In the Firstborn kit, they're called heirloom weapons. Basically, they got the same veteran treatment as our Thunderwolf Cavalry did.
Oh boy.
But Cavalry got buffed with the Codex, right? These are still the AP1 Damage 1 heirloom weapons. So my hope is that with the Primaris version of these, they're going to be like the Blade Guard veterans and have Damage 2 weapons.
That would be nice.
I love putting on all the pouches, combat knives, grenades that I can. Oh yeah, he's just a normal Vanguard vet, not even the sergeant. Exactly. When I keep saying sergeant is because I'm comparing him to the jump pack intercessor sergeant. He's got the same loadout, the sword, the plasma pistol. But yeah, this average Joe makes me wonder if this is going to be it. Your special Vanguard veteran squad is just a squad of all sergeants from the jump pack intercessors.
I have a lot of jump pack intercessors now that I think about it.
Yeah, I definitely, and I think that is the majority opinions of most of the people like putting on all the pouches and combat knives and whatnot. Lots of bling, and I definitely think people who are really into that, they make for some really great people to do conversions and stuff. And like I said, I love watching other people do Raptors and stuff like that because it is very customized when you do it that way. It's just not my personal aesthetic taste.
Yeah.
Here's the side pose, so we can see again. I do like the new jump packs themselves.
Oh yeah, but I can see those little, I guess, balancing orbs, like them snapping off pretty easily. They're the same ones that come in the.
Here the stabilizers.
Yeah. There's the same one that come into the what is that unit?
The
Hounds of Mordecai.
Oh, the Reavers.
Yeah, the Reavers. The same kind of stabilizing things. They look cute though.
What I'm nervous about is what will the multi-part kit actually have for weapon options? I mean, fair.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to streamline it like other veterans kits. If I had to put money on it, I would probably say they'll all have master crafted power weapons. Like Blade Guard veterans. I think this was just going to be like a flying equivalent of Blade Guard veterans. And taking Blade Guard veterans into account, since you have all special weapons, I believe that they're going to go down to a squad of 3 instead of squad of 5. Just because that seems to be how they're aligning their close combat veteran types.
I just noticed.
Now, some people, maybe everybody who was looking at the original image here, some people were saying that this mini was missing the Crux Terminatus that they're supposed to have.
On the shoulder pad.
But it is there on the shoulder pad. Because usually your veterans are also trained in the use of Terminator armor.
Yeah.
The only thing is that a raised detail? Like,
it looks like
it's raised. It looks a little flat from this angle, but I think that's just the angle. I think it's raised here.
Yeah, it looks raised to me. Now on the foot and the boot in the back, I didn't realize it. Is just like this exhaust thing on the back. Does that come with the other veterans? I'm not sure. Those are cool.
That comes on the jump pack intercessors and the.
Okay.
Oh my gosh! What's the first unit to get these jump packs? They're the double pistol unit.
Devastators? No.
Inceptors. Yeah.
I stopped to pay that mine.
Yeah, so it would be cool if you could, like, say, put a Thunder Hammer or Power Fist on the Sergeant. Yeah. I don't see it happening because of the way they've structured the other close combat veterans, though. I doubt that, to be honest. They didn't streamline Assault Terminators to a 3-man squad, so I bet these stay 5-man. I mean, true, their ground equivalent is only 3 to 6, so I think this would probably get 3 to 6. And also, another corollary is the Sanguinary Guard got moved from 5 to 3 as well. So I'm going to bet these are going to go 3 to 6.
Yeah, but they have the best wings ever.
Those wings actually look better in person, but I still rather see the whole wing like they used to. There's a guy at the oh my gosh! You know what? We're gonna cancel the last article. I said I took pictures at the shop because I wanted to share an art of the week. One of the guys at the shop has some of the most beautiful weathered blood angels I've ever seen. And I was like, man, I'm gonna snap a ton of pictures. I'm gonna show your stuff. He's like, you got permission, brother. And here, let me set some stuff up for your photo shoot. And here I am at the end of the show, and I haven't said shit about him.
All right, you can bring that up. I just need to go to the restroom. Just a second. I'll be right back.
All right, guys. Pray forgive me as I upload these blood angels. But these, every time I see this brother's Blood Angels, I just go crazy. Not going to mention, they turned me on a little bit. I mean, not going to lie, they turned me on a little bit. I'm a big fan of these Blood Angels. Man, I'm sitting here with a Blood Angel on my screen for 20 minutes, and I just totally didn't think about it. Be right back. I'll see you soon, my friend. All right, scrolling down. There we go. Screen share. Messenger. Boop. All right, we are taking a look. Just make sure I got everything. All right, cool. All right, while we are waiting, wait, make sure my scene transition. There we go. All right. Boom. My screen I watch on from the right froze, so I was like, wait a minute, it doesn't look my scene transition. All right, shout out to one of my brothers at the local shop. I've had the pleasure of playing with this gentleman for a few years now. I met him at the first narrative league I went to at the War Dome. And yeah, I've been, going to the same shop as him. We've been, we see each other sometimes at the shop. He's a great guy. This guy's name is Patrick. These are his Blood Angels, and I'm a big fan of his Blood Angels. And actually, the first year at the War Dome, his Blood Angels actually won Best Painted. So I'm a big fan of these. I really like the way the weathering and like panel line separation are done together in the same step. They look fantastic. And also, when I see reds painted up, my favorite effect to see is where the red starts out super dark around the edges and gets very vibrant towards the center. And I like where it's like so dark around the edges, it fades to almost black or brown or steel in this case, where the weathering is. I think he said he starts with a red-brown color. Welcome back, Inquisitor. I think he said he starts with a red-brown color, but it almost, you can see, it's so dark in comparison to the very bright reds that are used on the edges, that around the edges is very, very dark. And that really just highlights the brightness in the middle and kind of, I don't know, gives it like a lens flare effect, where it's just like perfectly framed by these dark edges. It looks so good. And it's not like a perfect edging, right? It looks rubbed away, it looks worn, it looks battle, like it's a perfect combination of smooth transitions and really weathered, worn armor, and I freaking love it. Every panel is separated perfectly. Every inside pan of each panel is perfectly modulated. It looks great. I'm a big fan of his work. Same thing here with his impulsor. You can see again, like I said, it looks like he's weathered along the edges, but if I understood what he said about his painting technique, is that he starts with the wear and tear, starting with the darkest brown, and then goes brighter towards the inside. So it's like you're actually looking at layers of paint, where it's like the effect of the brighter color on top is I had exactly how I was going to say that a minute ago, and my words just left me. You guys ever have that? But what I was saying is that, like, there is, in fact, instead of putting that weathering on top, it's just a lower amount of the brighter color with it. You know what? I'm going to edit that out because I did not words that. I'm going to sip my coffee and I'm going to pray for more words in the future. Or maybe because I'm babbling, I've had too much coffee already. I should have waited for the artiste. That's what I should have done. I really like that effect here, where you can see, like on the Space Marine's fist and knees, these very rounded shapes again. That very haloed effect, that where his highlighting style really brings out the shape, right? You've got the weathering right around the edges, and that highlight basically makes that round knee pad look more round. And same thing here on the fist, like the highlighting style really sells the shape of the miniature. It is the perfect blend of blending and highlighting, but also weathering. I am often afraid that when I do my weathering methods, I'm distracting away from my smooth blends and whatnot. And he my friend here actually incorporates it in as a way to do all of his separation and make every shape look fuller, look more detailed. It's crazy. You know, that's the kind of thing I meant to say. Let's forget all that other stuff I was saying. Here are his Blade Guard veterans, arguably some of the best painted stuff in his army. Again, beautiful style of shades, shading and highlights. Just absolutely phenomenal work. From a different angle, I don't think I actually got a frontal facial view of this guy, but you can kind of see here the way he paints blonde hair. Looks really good. And of course, leading his Blade Guard veteran squad, 6-man strong, is of course his the special apothecary Blood Angels get. Oh my gosh, the I keep wanting to do the Space Wolf thing and just name things blood. Like, it's a blood priest, sanguinary priest. I guess that's very close. The sanguinary priest goes with the Blade Guard veterans. And of course, they're 3-wound models, so he can continuously move with them, heal them, and bring one back to life every turn. I think he gives them a feel no pain too. Very good buff to have on the move with all these Vanguard veterans, Blade Guard veterans. Okay, I did get a frontal squad. You can see he's done an excellent job painting the face too, the blonde hair. Really phenomenal work. Another angle of the impulsor. And there we go. Oh, there's another angle there of his force on the field. And then, of course, my usual coffee cup with me and my speedy stop. All right, so, is Assault Jump Pack Intercessors.
Very nice.
Welcome back, brother.
Oh, I've been here. It's just my mic was muted. Sorry.
Okay.
I've been commenting the entire time. It's like, why is he ignoring me?
I hate when I do that.
Yeah.
I did that for like half of a D&D session one time. I'm like, man, nobody's like interacting and role-playing with me.
I like how the impulsor is like angled a little bit, so it looks like it's flying in.
Oh yeah,
That's pretty
got
cool.
like a little bit of an angle.
Yeah,
swooping for a turn.
Yeah, definitely.
I
Yeah,
agree.
it looks definitely cool. I like the way you did it. was wondering if you used a paintbrush stippling technique and or a makeup brush, because sometimes I've seen work that looks this contrasty using those methods.
Yeah, I believe he said it's and I could be wrong, but I want to say it's the stippling method.
Yeah, yeah, they work. It looks really good. Each one of the methods come out with really, really nice contrasty stuff. I really like how it came out.
I agree.
Pretty cool.
Like, as far as Blood Angels I've ever seen in person, this is my favorite Blood Angels army.
Yeah.
I actually can't think of a Blood Angels army I've seen that like I as impressive, even online. So, yeah, he won Best Painted at the first ever event I went to, and I find it, you know, an honor that I can be friends with him now. You know, that we hang out at the shop sometimes. I've never had a game against him, but what really is I feel honored about is he is impressed with my painting work the same way I'm impressed with his. He was complimenting my paint job on something at one of my units at the store the other day, and he jokingly said, "That's right, Mithras. Remember, you paint to impress me." I was like, "Yeah, well, if I'm impressing you, I'm doing my job." So that's pretty cool. So big fan of his painting style, and like you said, definitely some people who do the stippling technique can achieve some very vibrant, very nice results like that.
Absolutely.
I am tempted to give that kind of painting style a go on a future project. I just don't know what. It's like I've been wanting to try that one out for a while, but also I'm very, and I know this is the thing I'm not supposed to do, I'm very comfortable with the airbrush painting style. And I love the results, and those results are just getting better. But also, I should do it to learn a new technique and improve one skill, right? So I don't know what project, because I think my next project is Iron Warriors. And after that, Sisters.
Stippling on metallic metal on the Iron Warriors is actually pretty cool.
Pretty cool, but I already think I have found the recipe I want to use for that, or inspired that one. Sisters Battle maybe, but I don't know if they have large enough panels to make it work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Smaller. I'll think of something. Watch this, dipping my toe into Iron Warriors. Watch me, the way I have like 4 Space Marine armies. Watch me later on one day down the road, just by the one touch of chaos. Next thing you know, I've got like 5 chaos armies. All right, so that is everything, guys. Okay, the title's not a lie. We looked at the new the new model for the
I'm willing to go on a little longer if you want to review those things.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I don't want to keep you up too late.
No, I want the thumbnail to be accurate. I have questions about obscuring anyway.
Obscuring.
Hitting and obscuring.
Okay. Inquisitor says, Mythos care to make a friendly hobby bet. It'll be a fun hobby project for one of us. Loser paints one model of the winner's Space Marine army scheme. If Van Vets are 5-man, I win. And if they're 3 to 6 like me, then I win. Okay. Yeah. I think either way, that'll be a fun bet. I think it'll definitely be cool to have one of the other's Space Marine. That'll be neat. So you're on, my friend. You are on.
And if I win, you get Eric Swinson to pick up my orc army.
Oh man, one of
his
the greats.
His orc skin is crazy.
It is. It is. All right.
Take cover with the updated terrain rules.
Yep. Moving over to switch screens, replace. Boop. All right, here we go. All right, we are taking cover. All right. So this first idea here is not an entirely new idea.
Mhm.
Am I on the right page? Okay, good.
You are, yeah.
It's not an entirely new idea. Their labeling of it is kind of new, but like this is still already kind of happening with the current terrain in 40K. Terrain features and terrain areas.
Okay.
Now, if you have played in a tournament recently, or if you've played in or if you've played in like a GW shop or a shop that has some competitive features, you may have come to see, and I'm going to skip down to this picture here. You may have come to see that there's not only been terrain pieces on the table lately, but there have been little footprint cards around your terrain pieces. Okay. And so a terrain feature would be the physical object, in this case, the walls of this ruin.
Okay.
And your terrain area would be the footprint card underneath the terrain. So that is, so like I said, it's just some of the new ways that terrain has been used this edition. It's been used for a while in this edition, but if you haven't been playing competitively, or if you haven't been playing in shops, it might be new to you to see it listed this way. All right, so we've got the definitions here. Several key changes now allow for a wider variety of terrain featured on the battlefield and a greater interaction than before. So before, remember, a lot of the obscuring or line of sight blocking was just ruins, and there weren't even like ruin walls before that were like doing the job. But now we were giving more things obscuring, so you can use, especially a lot of, over time, some of the old GW terrain had become invalid, such as the old GW tree. Like it had the one big Age of Sigmar tree that was like a dead, twisted tree. There had like a couple of GW forest trees where it was like, I think eight trees that you make a little ring out of. So there were like some pretty cool GW terrain that got invalidated over time. And then some ones that I really saw at the shop that used to be really cool. I wish they still made them. One was like I can't remember the name of it, but it was like a force field. It was like an AdMech like tower with the force field on it. And it used to have rules and stuff for it too, but it was a very cool looking tower piece. But again, it wouldn't really have had rules in 10th edition, been useful in 10th edition because, really just ruined walls. And that's where a lot of complaint came, that 10th edition game-wise was just about the L-shaped ruins. But now you can use more pieces, and that's what they're doing. They're giving more use to they're creating more obscuring terrain, so that way you can use wider varieties of terrain. Foremost amongst these changes is the addition of the hidden rule as well, to give additional use to terrain. So now, before, obscuring was really the only kind of cover that really protected you from getting blown off the table. Obviously, if you were in cover, you would get a cover save. But obscuring was what really protected you by being out of line of sight
blocking. Right.
And
that still happens, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Early, we talked about the hidden rule, and we were like, man, this looks like it could be kind of overpowered. I think you and I talked about this 3 weeks ago, maybe?
Yeah.
But here it's laid out more specifically for infantry, beast, and swarm models. I gotta say, I wish mounted or thunder or cavalry would be included in there.
Right.
But they got to be inside the terrain, so that way they can be hidden, as long as they didn't shoot in the current or preceding player turn.
Yeah, that works for me. I thought it was like, you have a line of infantry, you have these men, open battlefield coming towards you, and you can't shoot at them until they're 15 inches away. But if they're in terrain, they're hiding. I get it. That makes more sense.
And definitely kind of like gives that movie kind of feel, like, a squad of soldiers hiding, in a bunch of ruins or something like that, or behind windows with their rifles, or hiding in trees, behind trees, so they're hidden because they're they're obscured because they're hiding in the terrain and ambush. So this really does, I think, I like the idea of this rule. It does feel like it's going to give that very cool kind of ambush kind of feeling.
Mhm.
And I got to admit, as a melee player, it does feel like it's going to help me.
Yeah.
But obviously, like I always use the word when people are like, "How do you feel about 10th edition so far, or 11th edition?" I always use the phrase with any new edition, cautiously optimistic. Am I excited for the changes? I think so, but I have been pissed before, and on some rules changes. Then once I played it on the tabletop, I was like, okay, that wasn't so bad. And then conversely, I've been like, this is going to be a great rules change. And then, been upset later. So, like, I'm cautiously optimistic. It looks exciting, but we'll see.
Well, take a look at this. This was the one that is interesting. So we have the Tau over here, and we have the unit that's with letter C, especially the one on the corner of the terrain footprint. Is clearly out in the open. It's clearly visible.
This one or this one?
The one right by the C that the X is pointing to. Yeah. Right next to the 15-inch marker, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you clearly can see this unit. I mean, you can see that model for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yet they're hidden.
They are technically in terrain because they're in the terrain area.
Yeah.
So
that's the only part that might be confusing, because you could bead a really clear line of sight on there.
Yeah.
However,
let's see. Let's read it and see if I can see.
Yeah.
I would. Okay. Well, let me just. Most terrain is obscure yesterday. Obscuring terrains cannot be seen entirely through large models.
Yeah.
Sections of terrain to avoid enemy fire. Benefit of cover, which is now, by the way, -1 to hit.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
Yeah. That is nice.
Okay. There's an obscuring terrain area between units in A and D, so none of them are visible to each other. A and where's D? Where's the D? There it is. Oh, this squad A is there. Okay. So so you actually got walls here you can't see. Okay, that makes sense.
Right.
All models in units B and C are within the terrain area, which we've checked. They are in the footprint. Yep.
Yeah.
And our infantry. So they can't shoot them because they're hidden. They haven't shot yet. That's why he's in the open.
Exactly.
But he's in terrain and he hasn't shot yet.
But so clearly you can see.
But the hidden rule is in play.
I know. That's the only thing that might be confusing, because I can clearly see the model. However, they're hidden.
Yeah. So, like, if you think of like an ambush, like even though he's where you don't think you could see something, maybe he's, I don't know, laying on the ground amongst the rubble or something like that. It's more of a cinematic feel than a, he
has the predator cloaking.
Maybe
that's the only thing. He's a predator cloaking.
But yeah, so I think that's clear. That's just to highlight the new hidden rule.
Yeah. No, I know. That's the only part that might be confusing.
And then, of course, because he's in the open, though, if he stepped within 15 inches, so just a little further over this line.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Okay. Unit D's models are also visible to units in B and C because they do not have the hidden rule. And so...
Yeah, because they're within 15 inches.
Yeah. So they're not obstructed at all.
So what if, you see where the B is, if these two units that you can draw a line of sight to, that you can actually, the model can see, because they're not obscured by this ruined L shape over here, if they were over on the other side and they're closer to 15 inches in the terrain, but that L-shaped terrain is clearly blocking them, can they get a line of sight? I guess they can. Yeah, they can. Okay. But with the reduced AP, right? I mean, with the reduced hit, -1 to hit.
So if they are behind, if they are behind the L shape, then they would not be able to. That's why they drew this arrow all the way around to the corner here, because they can see this part of the base past the corner.
See, that's what I wanted to know. Okay.
One rule that is one way I've had the rule explained to me is that when it comes to like your L-shaped, your actual ruined walls and stuff like that,
Right.
you have to imagine that the walls are infinitely tall, and they the first floor windows are all like boarded up or whatever. So so the L is always going to be blocking.
Okay. That's cool.
Now,
I understand.
second floor, it's true line of sight, but first floor is always the walls are solid. Which I like, because I remember in 7th edition, I had someone do I can see the tip of your gun through that window.
Right.
I've shot and wiped out all of your Space Wolf squad.
Yeah.
Oh, well, F me.
Now, if they're on the second floor, do they still get the benefit of cover?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just, so they're in cover, but it's true line of sight. First floor.
So even if they're 15 inches away, they still could be shot at if they're on the second floor.
Yes.
Oh.
If you can see them, if you can see them now, if they're 15 inches away and they haven't been shot at, they still have the hidden rule.
Oh, so they're hidden on the second floor.
Yeah. Anywhere within the terrain feature. Or terrain area, rather. The feature are the walls, but the area is the footprint.
So Hellblasters can really do some damage if they're just chilling.
Yeah.
Waiting for you to get close.
Waiting for you to get close, and then once you're in within 24.
Hellblasters are in.
Was always like a gamble for me, because I would always post my Hellblasters up on the second floor of most, any ruin or whatever on my side of the table.
Yeah.
And that would always be kind of a gamble, right? Because if I roll for first turn, they can shoot in the middle of the board. But if my opponent gets first turn, then they can shoot them out of the windows, right?
Right.
And so it was always kind of a gamble. Now with this, though, I can post them up on that, open window, and until my Hellblasters shoot, they're not going to get shot at. So that's going to make things like, your longer range fire support, that'll keep them from getting alpha striked.
Right.
Comments. Let's see.
My poor Tau.
Hey, if I win, though, don't worry. I'm not going to hold you to having to put candles on. No, I'm going to do the full thing, man. If you win, I am going to make a... Oh, wait, you recently changed the name of your Space Marine Army. Hold on. I'm going to look this up because I want to get it right. Like, real quick. Ideas. I have an idea section. I know I do. Ideas and feedback. Heralds of Death. No, wait. The other way. Death Heralds. Yeah, I'm going to go full Death Heralds. We're talking candles. We're talking flames. We're going to do the full color scheme. If you win, you got it, man.
You get to try out that new stippling technique.
Oh, hey. That could be a perfect miniature to try some new techniques on. I'm excited.
There it is. Have some fun.
All right. This is a primary mission, so this is how the terrain is going to interact with the mission. So Death Trap, for any terrain areas trapped this turn, see reverse, you get 2 victory points or 3 victory points.
Yeah, the booby trap. Start your shooting phase. Use 1 friendly unit in this range, 1 objective, excluding your home objective, or within 1 terrain area that is not within your deployment zone that you have not yet trapped. See below. There's a lot of seeing. Seeing behind, seeing below.
That's pretty cool, though. So you would score victory points for trapping the objectives, score points that way. And if your terrain piece is also an objective, you get extra bonus points.
Nice. And it's cumulative.
Very nice.
So I guess that takes 1 turn to booby trap something instead of your shooting phase.
It sounds like it would be an action. Completes immediately. Effect starts.
Seems that way.
It seems that way, but I would like some clarity on that, because I could just be missing it.
Me too.
If you win, I'm buying a battle leader. Ooh, fancy. Yeah, I'm actually looking forward to that. That sounds like a really fun bet. Okay, so this is the terrain layout for the mission. I loved how the last couple of editions, like before the rule book comes out, they give you the first mission for free, like before the new edition even comes out. That's pretty neat.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have 70 new attachments coming out.
Yeah, that's pretty exciting, and being able to mix them, you know, like a quick pick. Oh, and then of course, larger ones still have a place, and the physical features still matter for drawing line of sight in and out of terrain, like we talked about with the windows and whatnot. Height also plays a bigger role in the current edition, unlike heavy weapons teams and like heavy weapons teams seldom ascend the upper floor of ruins, and doing so exposes them to fire across the table. With the hidden rule, we talked about that with the Hellblasters. You put them up in the window, and they can hide out until they're ready to ambush somebody with some withering fire. But with bigger models now, the plunging rule can give your unit +1 to their ballistic skill, effectively canceling out the benefit of cover, or make a devastating attack on an enemy caught out in the open. So if you're up in the taller terrain, you get the plunging fire to get +1 to hit, or if you've got the towering keyword, you get +1 to hit on ground level troops within 12 inches. That's pretty cool. And we can see here, we've got an infantry squad firing down, getting +1 ballistic, and we've got an Imperial Knight firing down. Get +1 to hit.
Yeah, I like that.
That is pretty cool. I'm excited. All right, so we talked about area footprints. You'll need the.
And
Go ahead.
I do like that the terrain is like almost an inch in, so this way, you know, vehicles can actually hold an objective because they have OC, and it'll be able just to tow in.
Oh yeah. And towing into terrain has always kind of been a thing, so I'm glad to see that that's still there. Especially since some of the new rules, like some for Space Marines, one of them is all about getting bonuses when you're in cover, and so doing things like towing into terrain is like part of the strategy. So it's kind of cool to see.
The one thing that I'm missing about the circles, though, is that I have the custom Space Wolf circles, the original ones. Yeah, and they were expensive as all get out, so now they're invalidated.
And that is definitely a complaint that I'm sure a lot of people have, is that circles have been part of the game for so long. I'm sure a lot of people especially have gone to these third-party places and bought like the rubber circles, you know.
No, I went straight to GW. I paid GW prices for mine. I have Iron Hands and I have Space Wolves. Yeah, I know.
I had forgotten that GW made their own rubber circles.
They did. They were not cheap.
And for them to just go away. Now, it's not the first time, right? Like templates have gone away and things like that. But it never feels good when you're like, this accessory is going to help me with my gaming. And it's like, nope, sorry. Like, well, damn.
Now I have really great coasters. One thing you missed though, underneath the primary missions, there were some templates on new battlefields, like the Crucible battle layout.
These sizes here?
No. I see the sizes. It was on the last article, I think. The last article we looked at.
This is it.
Oh no, there it is. Okay, no, that's it. So if you look at over here, right? So I'm thinking, what's the biggest model I can think of? Okay, the Baneblade. Okay. It could land on 2 objectives. I think it could tow in on both, because that's a 9-inch model.
That would be good to get some clarity to. Typically, 1 unit cannot hold 2 objectives. So, and that's just, you know, like in this edition, previous editions. Like you can't take a 20-man squad of guardsmen and string them out to 2 objectives.
Oh yeah, no, of course not. But the Baneblade, if it could fit, I mean, I don't see. But I get it. It won't be able to. Okay, that was my own key concern, because I'll have like a Astra Militarum player
Now,
have a Bane Blade or two.
the biggest concern I think from this kind of layout, and this is not just a this edition concern, 10th edition has had this problem. I think 9th had it as well. The boards are so dense these days. Yeah. Where are you going to drive the Bane Blade?
No, you're not.
You're going to fit it through here, probably. Yeah. Its only real choice is to come to the right here.
Yeah.
And then, depending on how tall these are, if these are an inch and you can drive over it, maybe you can move around the board here, but it's not a lot of freedom to drive. You have one path you can go. And something I've come across in my own games, people have been like, okay, he's got a big tank over here. He can only drive this way. I'm just going to put all my units over here on this side of the ruin, and he can't see me. So that's
when you deploy the second tank.
Just bring it in on this board edge.
Yeah, nowhere to play, nowhere to hide.
So it is definitely like, don't get me wrong. I think a dense board is good for a lot of things, especially
melee.
I'm a melee player. So I always love having dense boards. But, every once in a while I'm like, okay, I bring my tanks, because my wolves need some covering fire, or my custodies. I play all my armies kind of in a similar way now. I used to, it's funny, I was so mad when I went from 7th to 8th edition that I couldn't make a full melee army anymore. And now, but I lost a lot more games back then. Now, I feel like as a more seasoned player, I've learned the rules of moderation, and I'm like, okay, people are like, you brought 2 tanks to 1,000-point list. I'm like, my wolves need some covering fire. I've learned these days, like, don't get shot before you get there.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
So yeah, this template, that's what I was mentioning about, like, it's cool to see the mission, the first mission and the first, like, you got your everything you need for the mission, your rules, your terrain layout, your where to put your measurements, where to put your objectives, your deployment zones. All of that comes for free in this article. You don't even have to buy the 11th edition book yet, and you've got a mission you can play straight away. So I think that's pretty cool.
That is pretty cool. Did a good job with that.
Yeah, 10th, they did the same thing. They released the first mission in an article before it came out, and also in the app. So, all right, guys. So that is our preview into the new Vanguard Veteran. And
wait, wasn't there one more?
Oh, I just didn't want to push your time too much, my brother. But we have.
I want to cover it all.
You
are covering it all, bro.
We'll do it live.
Do it live.
Well, you are amazing, my brother. We're going to take a look now at the terrain as objective markers in the new edition. All right. Beautiful table, by the way. All right. So rather than objectives existing as tokens that you need to stand next to, it's funny because a lot of the channels that cover tactics and strategy, one of the reoccurring phrases, and I've heard it on both like Morty and Glory and Vanguard Tactics. Yeah. They say that 40K is a game that's not always about fighting, but the game is about standing on circles, because points win games.
Yes.
And now it's like, it's the same idea, but now
standing on rectangles.
Yeah, you're standing on rectangles. All right, so we're going to offer up a measure of cover to those capturing them. It's funny because, like, for just like not narrative, but like I don't know, thematic reasons, I used to always put the objective tokens in ruins anyways. Like, yeah. If there was like a piece of intel or a relic or something that you were fighting over, it'd be unlikely it would just be sitting in the middle of the field. Exactly. I would always put it like in ruins or whatever. Yeah. But now that's what they're saying here. Many objectives. Okay. Measure. So you get cover for capturing the objective. You don't need to worry about your soldiers being left out in the open as sacrificial lambs. Man, the rare occasion, like when you did have to somebody else set the table up, or you had to put somebody out in the open for that, man, sometimes you're just like, should I even go for that objective? They're going to get blown away. They're not going to be able to take the objective.
Oh yeah, that's happened to me many times.
So And also because your objectives are in the terrain themselves, if your unit hasn't shot and you're clearly there, you ever take a unit that's like, hey, they can't even do any damage. This unit's not good at all for damage, like the humble tactical squad, but they're just there to grab objectives. Or it's your Space Marine scouts, which are cheap as chips. It's like, okay, well, they're not there for damage. They're there for the objective. Well, now you don't have to worry about them doing damage because you could forego your shooting, use the hidden rule, and they would have to get close to you to be able to attack you while you're capturing that objective. So that's pretty neat. Larger units such as vehicle and monsters will also be able to contribute to claiming objectives with this greater safety. While you can't use the terrain areas to gain cover, they can still perch behind the ruins. Okay. Vehicle has an OC characteristic and it's within the terrain areas. The tank is getting
OC 3
objective control on it. But now, because towing into the terrain doesn't necessarily give you the cover, the unit would have to be on the other side of like this wall or whatever.
So it has to be true sight, you're saying?
Yeah. So as far as cover, it says larger units, vehicles, and monsters, they will not be able to use the area terrain as cover. So they would need to break line of sight with the terrain features, but the terrain area, it's not going to give them cover just by being it. So like these guys would be able to shoot at the tank. Or these guys rather, because like these guys are in the terrain, they would be able to shoot at the tank regardless. But like these guys here, they would be able to see the tank and shoot at it because there's no physical terrain, just the footprint. And they wouldn't even get the -1 ballistic because they're not gaining cover. They'd be able to shoot at their true score. Vehicles, let's see, but they can park behind ruins
and get
and so you'll be able to get the cover save, which is the -1 AP. Okay.
They won't be able to see it until you tow in.
And actually, I think these guys would still get the -1 because they can't see every part of the model, right? They wouldn't see, like, say, the back bumper here. So because they couldn't see every part of the model, they could probably still get that -1. Now that I think about it. All right, so they can now move around the terrain more easily, being able to move through lighter features such as low walls, scrub, and tree lines without slowing
nice
all the yellow bits on the map. Okay. So that's cool. I think like the low wall scrub was something that they could do before. They could go over anything like 1 inch. Tree lines, that'll be interesting to see. I'd like to see an example of that. Like, are they tall trees? Are they like what defines whether or not a tank can drive through that?
True.
Or any trees? Can they go through any trees? That would be interesting. Besides, that also plays in the story, and I like that because going back to the example we were looking at the other map, where it was like the terrain was so thick, where am I going to drive? Right. If one of those big pieces was, say, a forest, you could drive your tank through the forest.
Right through it.
Yeah.
But are you able to see that forest through the trees?
It also plays in Story games. We talked about how it's interesting. This whole piece is objective control, like it seems so much larger than the big round area. It's probably not, because if you think of the big round mouse pads, it's probably not. But man, it just looks like, wow, that's a lot of objective to fight over, like anywhere on this big rectangle.
Yeah.
That could fit, the penitent engine and the tank comfortably on,
Oh yeah. It's going to be massacres.
The number of objectives will vary by missions between 5 and 6. I think with these big terrain features being the whole objective as opposed to just the circle, I feel like objective control is going to matter a little more because you're going to be able to just pile in a lot of bodies to get objective control.
Oh yeah, Battle Shock's going to be more relevant because if you lose it, you lose objective control.
Yeah, that might even make morale more important because of that.
Oh yeah. Night Lord's just finally shining.
Maybe we'll see how it works out. I'm not going to put that much faith into morale rules.
Night Lords.
That's not to say every objective must now be a building or tree line or important mess of creators. You're still welcome to mark. Okay, you can still mark them with 40 millimeter bases, should the mission require. You might need to defuse a bomb, for example. Okay, so I thought every objective was going to be a piece of terrain, but it's still the option.
You can use the circles then?
It says you can still use the circles if you're welcome to, should the mission require. Now that is very vague wording. I don't know if you can do that every game.
Just play the way you want, have some fun, unless you're playing like a legitimate match play game.
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, if you do a pickup game, or you're playing your local shop, you're probably going to go with the updated rules, because usually that's just like, for pickup games, most people use the most current rules because it's like everybody being on the same page. But if you're having a game with a friend, there's nothing stopping you from using whatever rules you want.
Those, to me, are the best games. Everything else seems a little bit tense. I don't know.
I definitely enjoy that I joined the Discord for the local game shop after my first event.
Yeah.
Because being part of the Discord has given me the motivation to go in there on some Saturdays and get to know the guys. And getting to know the guys gives me the motivation. Like, I don't go to pickup games super often, but it has motivated me to participate in leagues and events.
Right.
And it's gotten me more comfortable with arranging shop games and pickup games. Whoops. I did not mean to do that. So I'm becoming more comfortable with pickup games. Now, I did once accidentally, like I said, get my tail handed to me super hard by second turn by accidentally arranging a game with a competitive player for a pickup game. And he was very good, and it was over immediately. Like turn 2, I was tabled. But in general, though, like, it's been pretty chill just having good games with good people. So, and that is when I first got into 40K, Sonic mentioned earlier in the chat the Swords and Superhero Days. That was the name of the first local game shop we all went to, and we actually had a really good Friday night pickup culture there.
Nice.
So that was good. So anyways, that is the previews. We actually are accurate to the topics we wanted to hit today.
That's what's up.
Thank you for staying up, brother. I apologize if I kept you awake too long.
Nah, it's all right. It's fine.
Anything you're particularly excited for or looking forward to in the next edition?
I don't know. I have a baby on the way. I'm trying to save up for the new edition. Maybe I could afford it. Maybe I can't. We'll see.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
If we do, I still haven't played 10th edition yet. So
that is also true. And what is really cool is that since a lot of people are calling 11th edition 10.5 because it's going to be a light. It's going to be allegedly light changes in comparison to.
12 is going to completely play differently.
Probably.
Yeah.
So because it is a lighter edition, anybody that you play with that is using 11th may have an easy time playing 10th with you, like me.
Using 10th, have an easy time playing 11th, yeah.
Or vice versa. Whoever's in the new edition,
we're
still playing 10th, and they want to play you, them stepping back into 10th may not be a far stretch because...
Brother, I play 9th.
Let's just roll it back to 8th.
No, I don't have the codexes for that, but I actually have all the codexes for 9, like that's all cool. The armies. So nice. I could pick up and play codex games.
I had an older gentleman all through 8th edition. And this is to me totally legitimate and totally valid. He was an older gentleman, and it took him a long time to learn to play 7th edition, and to really understand the rules. And because for him, it was very complex. And don't get me wrong, 7th was pretty complex. Mm-hmm. And even though 8th was meant to be streamlined a lot easier, it was intimidating for him to learn a new edition after spending several years learning the previous edition. And so all throughout 8th, he would come to the shop and he would watch us play. And at the time, I was just one of the people who mostly like would do learner games with new players or walk people through games, just because I was a teacher at the time, right? I taught CPR, safety, active shooter awareness, that kind of thing. And so I got really comfortable walking people through the steps of the game. Like, okay, so your ballistic skill is 3s. You need to reach a target of 7, so you need to hit 4+. Okay, my toughness is 4. Your toughness is 4. Looking for a 4 up. I'm just walking people through every dice roll, right? And
yeah.
I got a patient way of looking at it. And so a lot of people would come to me for games if they weren't comfortable with the rules yet. This gentleman would come, watch me do that with other people, or watch one of my games. Because I was doing that with new people so often, I just got in the habit of saying those things to whoever I was playing. Hey, your toughness is this, my strength is this, I'm going to be hitting on this, and walking through the steps. And so he got to a point after watching me for, a few weeks, he was like, hey, we're moving on to a new edition and I'm not yet ready to learn a new edition. Can I come in next week and get in a game of 7th with you? Absolutely. And we would do that, and he'd pop in one week to watch me play and schedule a match for the next week. Like, it was like clockwork, and he was always super like, he was the most polite guy ever. Like, coming in a week in advance to schedule a game so that way he could not feel like he was imposing on my time, and it was just like really cool. He would bring me snacks and treats sometimes. And I never felt like I was doing anything strenuous or any big particular favors for him by playing an older edition. I was hanging out with this older gentleman, having a good time, but he was like, this guy's going out of his way to walk me through the game and play an older edition. So he would often bring me just like treats and snacks and stuff like that. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I'm still transitioning from 1st edition to 2nd. So kidding.
Oh man, I've been learning so long. I still have an unlearned Rogue Trader.
Yeah.
I meant to say earlier, Inquisitor is driving, so he likely won't be talking for the rest of the stream, which we are at now. I would say the thing I'm looking forward to about the upcoming edition is learning the squad sizes for the new Vanguard veterans, because I'm really looking forward to this challenge that I have with F and Inquisitor. And is it weird that I'm almost hoping a little bit that I'm wrong so I can paint up a Death Herald? Like, painting up one of his custom army just sounds fun. Even whether if I win or lose, I might still paint it up either way.
There it is.
Seems neat. All right. So thank you guys so much. Oh, closing thought. You have a closing thought you want to share? Any words of wisdom from the great?
I don't know how wizened I am. But always try to get better at the thing that you do. It makes you feel good.
There you guys have it. As you can see, the greatest painter in the Amish community, sharing some words of wisdom with us. If you guys liked tonight's episode, make sure that you grab up an axe and smash the like button in the name of the Emperor. Drop us some comments down below. Feel free to be part of tonight's ridiculous conversations. And if you guys are not yet subscribed to this guy over here, or any of the friends down in the description below,
the Amish Outlaw,
we would love to have you as part of the pack here at Wolfbrother Hobbies. So make sure you take a look at all these channels and subscribe. Till next time, guys, stay frosty.